Go ahead. Start over.
All right. So, Oliver, as the chains rip out from your body, something primal within you feels raw and torn. But something else rips as if you had a veil in front of you. And as your eyes open up after your eyes shut from the pain, you see the hooks slowly but surely disintegrating before you. The spirit that it had enslaved you now turning to dust.
I scream like a high school girl.
And that is your prerogative. One moment, you're in agonizing, super intense pain. Everything hurts. Your legs feel like they've been shredded. Your heart feels strange. Your head feels muddled. And then everything clears. And you see a symbol. And the symbol seems so familiar. You blink, and it's gone. So too are you gone. You find yourself in a strange grove. There's nothing but stone beneath you. You see before you several paths. They all seem to lead to a tower. Perhaps it's the same tower, or perhaps the towers are different. You can't quite tell, but every time you turn, it's like another path is fills your vision. You see before you a path where you see yourself going on walking there, but you also see yourself at the end of the path simultaneously. You turn away and you turn back, and it was as if that you were never there. Its path seems to be riddled with strings, and it seems to be immaterial. You turn and you see this twisting place. The road is windy, and beside it are these demons, or are they angels? They they whisper to you to follow them. They will show you your greatest dreams. They will show you your greatest fears. They tell you to run, for they will show you the true depth of your nature. This is you, they whisper. Follow us. You turn to the next path. This one seems to be barren, cold. The dirt beneath the dirt path is sterile. There is nothing living along this path. There's this strange echo that comes from this direction, and a strange feeling of closeness to it. But it too is not the last path. You turn once more. You see a path. It seems to be surrounded in glorious light. It seems surrounded by the truth. You know it in your soul. You turn one last time. You see a path that is overgrown. There are strange beings lurking within these woods, this jungle. Which path does Oliver take?
I'm caught between two.
Tell me which two is Oliver looking at.
Um, as a man of culture and sophistication, the path of truth.
Ah, yes. The
Uh,
path
there was,
the path of
yeah,
truth seems to seems to be full of fire, ice. It seems to be full of friction and knowledge in that general direction, but it also seems to be full of something else. something complementary, something that is different from that veil that was torn from your soul as the chains and hooks were at the same time. This was the truth of your soul and of everyone's soul. Magic is your birthright. What is the other path?
Yeah, was one with the demon angels.
Oh, you turn to the one to the windy road. It twists and turns. There seems to be more space here than that should be allowed, and in other places, too little. These creatures that whisper to you your greatest desires and your darkest deeds, they beckon. One of them you might have mistaken for what you might have thought your imaginary friend from when you were younger might have looked like. Or perhaps it was just a trick of the light.
What calls to me is
Which
the
one?
truth.
So, alright. So as you step onto this path full of fire and forces, you follow it, and it takes you no time to, at the first fork, to follow the truth, for that is what calls to you. But as you do so, you find yourself deadlocked with this strange being. It seems to spit at you, and it seems far too familiar. This was some passing shade of that spirit that held you, and it tries to take you. But you duck and dive and weave, and it too fades away. You make your way up to the tower, and you know that symbol. The symbol that's been following you your whole journey, that has been leading you through the paths. You know it to be your true name, and you find yourself compelled to write it upon this standing tower, this obelisk, this tower. And Oliver, you wrote it down and awaken. All right. So, you got the ruling path of Prime. You're you're an Obrimos or whatever, however you say it.
I had no idea what anything meant there, so I was like, oh,
Yeah, fair enough. So your ruling arcana is going to be Prime. So nothing can be great. No arcana can be greater than than Prime ever is. They cannot equal it either. You have 6 dots you can choose. However, I will let. So your ruling arcana. I'm going to be putting this in additional information, which is at the bottom. Is Prime. And secondary is forces, and your inferior is death. Which your inferior costs more, is harder to cast, and your character just has a hard time wrapping their mind around how to use it. So, congratulations, you are now a mage. You may increase one of your resistance stats by 1 dot. You may not increase it to 5. I don't think you actually can.
what's that?
One of your resistance stats. That's resolve, stamina, or composure. You may increase the
Stamina, composure.
they're at the top.
Yeah. I think with what just happened to me, I think stamina is the only one that makes sense. I rolled really good for stamina. Meanwhile, my composure and my undercut by events that happened.
Yeah, I get you. That does increase your health by 1, by the way. I increased it.
Yay.
And
So does that make me not dying, or do I lose a lethal?
So as you awakened, you got healed anyway.
Okay.
But yeah.
Oh, I just Spider-Man, right? Like I'll wake up and like be like, oh, I feel stronger, and like I'm able to pick up my backpack with no trouble instead of some trouble.
I mean, it didn't increase your strength. It's all right. So you get 6 dots in Arcana, with Prime being your major. So
God damn it, dog. Sorry,
Nice.
she keeps knocking my mic down because she's a spaz.
anyway, you get 3 merit dots to use however you want. And you should start thinking about how your magic, which your Nimbus, which is essentially your soul reaching past your body and interacting with the world, which is how your casting spells should look. For example, if it's a shadowy Nimbus, is it solid, liquid, gaseous? And what does it look like when you're casting spells? Is it spitting them? Is it forming symbols that then become the spell? Or something different? Things like that. Yeah. So, choose your Arcana. You've got 3 merits you can use, and yeah, that should be it for Oliver right now.
For this,
Choose what?
which book should I go to for this?
All of them have merits. However, if you're looking for specifically magical ones, you might want to go into the first one or the second one. However, if you're more interested in mortal ones, like, survivability stuff, well, not that magic doesn't also have...
I meant like in general for like doing the mage stuff.
Oh, for mage
Mage
stuff?
the Awakening, and then I have Signs of Sorcery.
Mage the Awakening Mage the Awakening has the basic rules. Signs of Sorcery is an extension. It's why I named the files Woke Dank and Woke Dank 2. Yeah.
It's like saying like I have the gnosis, not gnosis. The fucking. What the fuck is it called? The Obimos path.
Yeah, I put that there. Yeah. Essentially, what that means is that you have an affinity for Prime and Forces, but you're weaker at Death Magic. Which means you don't use mana for those spells.
The flavor of your magic.
Yeah.
Almost like your character class.
Yeah.
Considering what I was advised to go with, I think it was better I didn't end up with Mastic more considering. Well, I guess most would have been fine.
I mean, to be honest, I just like walking through the paths. If you aren't interested in those paths, you can absolutely choose another.
Well, you just told me Matter and Mind would be the best ones for my character concept.
Yeah, we can do that.
And, I'm just looking at because Old Boy isn't like a spiritual kind of character, so it makes sense he'd inferior kind of in spirit. But let's I'm gonna figure. So I get 3 dots of merits to spend as I like.
Yes.
Okay.
And you can also, uh, how would this translate? So,
I
merit
have six
cost,
dots of
single dot.
magic.
Yeah. So you can also spend your three, your two of your experience and all of the free merit dots to up your gnosis.
This is my limiter.
Gnosis is your limiter, and it's also what your so it's your you roll Arcana plus your Gnosis for casting spells.
Um, uh, I can spend basically all of my uh experience points for that.
So if you spend all your experience points, it'll take 2 of the free merits.
Oh, okay.
Or if you could use, they could cost 5 for an extra Gnosis at the beginning.
Okay. Yeah, I'll look this over and I'll let you know in a second.
All right. So yeah, just let me know what you actually want your path. A little sad that the role playing we got didn't use, but it's okay, man.
All right. I can still see like for what all of it is. When he would see the truth, it would be like matter, death, right, and not so much the spirit.
Well, yeah,
Spirit
but
and death.
so it's kind of like so Prime is less about death. It is, and it can be pretty logical for like actually being able to mathematically say this is exactly what the soul is in our universe. Prime people can do that, so it kind of fits your character concept, but I'm not super certain if you want to take it that direction.
What?
Huh?
I'm gonna read up on this and we'll get back to it.
Yeah, okay. Fair enough. So, John Michael, do you want Primus's Awakening, or do you just want to tell me the path you want?
I'm just gonna do for us.
Okay. I figured you would. All right. Keep in mind that you do increase one of your resistance stats by 1 dot. You cannot put it at 5. You get 3 free merits. Start thinking about what your Nimbus looks like. You can tell me what order you plan on joining, but you haven't joined it yet. You can tell me what.
Adamant arrow.
Yeah. I also figured that one.
Yeah, I figure if I'm playing the physical house. How many sphere dots do we get?
You get 6 total. Nothing can be equal or more than your ruling arcana.
Now, we can get this third dot. Okay, 4 dots. Hold on. Experience. You think I should go to this my third dot?
For your
My last dot.
last dot. I mean,
I'm death 3, matter 2.
yeah, I'm looking at it. Let's see.
Spirit is my weak sphere.
Yeah.
Because death and spirit overlap, so
Yeah. So I mean, you could do something like life or fate, but I'm not sure that's where you want your character to go. So death, matter, and time could make a nice motif for your character.
we'll try it out. I'll use every anything.
I don't think you meant
Uh,
to make time your ruling arcana.
I think it's not ruling arcana.
I know, but you had 4 dots.
Yeah, I know it jumped all the way up there for a second.
Yeah.
Then we get 3 merit points.
3 merit points that you can use however you want. You can use your 2 experience and all your merit points to increase your gnosis by 1. Because you can use it explicitly for merits or your gnosis. You start with full mana, which is twice your gnosis. You heal all your damage. And
Merits.
you're cutting out there a little bit.
Let's see here. There's combat merits that I think I'm going to say.
I mean, I was pretty sure you were going to take one of the combat merits from Mage the
Of course, it makes
Awakening.
a lot of sense.
I was thinking about going into anti-arrow. You know, so I knew I was going to do point as far as you know, fighting with something. And I also kind of wanted to go up that skill tree. I didn't expect to get magic yet, but I also thought about taking telekinesis as the supernatural merit. But like it's one of those like in a bad situation, you control your willpower, and if you fail, you just have to use your telekinetic power in what would it say, like a flourishing act of display of power.
Nice. Yeah.
Any merit suggestions?
I was pretty sure there was a merit that I was thinking you might take. If I can find where merits are in freaking this book. Wow. Why do I suck so bad? You just take the shortcut to the shortcut.
A craft item.
You can craft items.
Monday. Merits.
There's one that essentially let you, as a reaction, punch someone magically, I think.
Push.
Yeah, the adamant hand.
I've been reading up lately on Mage Sight
Oh, okay.
and summoning supernal entities and all that stuff. That's what I've been looking at lately.
I got you.
Actually, I think I'm going to take. Another point for this book. I don't want to go 3 in it. And I'll never use any of it for it. Please, we're so slow from him.
It's okay. Alright, so are you guys, at least, so since you guys aren't going to be using a lot of these stuff yet, I think it's fine if we continue on to the meat of it, right?
Pretty good.
Where can I find like what kind of magic-y stuff each school does, so I can kind of like know to put my points into?
If you look at the character creation right underneath it, it literally tells you what all the orders and all the paths are, their specialties. It's what you'll find the easiest everywhere.
Chapter 4 magic, or just right after character creation?
So it's on page 82, or actually 83 because of how the PDF works, but I think so. It's the page 82 on the PDF. It might be labeled 83, or rather, you know what I mean. So at the bottom, it'll say which path, what their ruling arcanas are, the inferior arcanum, order, like that.
I don't know what like forces and prime does.
So forces is literally anything that is giving force, and prime is literally like using magic to create magical items, make magical batteries, take magic from other people, well, in theory, and magic creatures. You can technically make curses, but it's different from, say, if you're doing it with spirit or if you're doing it with fate, because those two are kind of
Counter spells.
Forces
so
is basically
it's also got
force.
meta magic in it for prime. And, so extending the duration of a spell, counter spelling, stuff like that.
Prime is basically like meta magics.
Yes,
Yeah, essentially.
That's pretty fun.
and, I mean you can do other stuff than meta magics, but it is generally meta magics. Yes.
And is it prime that's my big one, or is it prime?
So when you did the path yourself, it was prime was your big one, and forces was your secondary one.
I'll take the role playing, so it'll be fine.
Yay! Yeah. So forces is literally like redirecting heat to like broil someone, making fire, calling lightning. It's the more direct acts of wizardry that you would think of, like a fireball would be forces. You could also remove friction from an area, alter gravity. You could fly with forces
What would
directly.
be a good tertiary one for Oliver?
All right. So for Oliver, so mine would be a good one, and I think matter might also be a good one. I mean, unless he feels particularly called to life magic, which is like enhancing yourself in creatures. But
I'm ready.
I didn't really get that impression.
You might now.
Yeah, because
Yeah, I need to cast the buffs to not be beaten to death by dudes with trophies.
yeah, I got you. Yeah,
Forces essentially let you make like bulletproof barriers and
yeah. So on the defensive side, things are kind of sound a little obvious, but so if you use life magic to defend, you might grow a shell. If you Yeah, if you decide to defend yourself with forces, you might make a wall of force that just reflects things or acts like a wall or makes or pushes it back, right?
Alright. Where can I like read this stuff at, or like get a sense of it? 'Cause that's what I'm like lost on. Is that I have some ideas, but like, have anything to like look at and be like, oh, okay, this.
Forces is in.
There's a White Wolf wiki, the White Wolf Fandom.com wiki
Um,
has a bunch of the spheres broken down with like
Examples.
pretty good examples of what they can do at each sphere level.
yeah, and there's that in this book too.
Yeah, the books and
So if you want better lore, you can look into some of the into World of Darkness stuff. But the Chronicles of Darkness is what we're running, and it's got a little bit better of a system.
Okay. Well, in this book, what does it tell me that stuff?
So if you go to practices on page 123 in
Practice. Okay.
practices, yeah. So it'll tell you what each dot will be doing, and then you can kind of associate, like, you can kind of fill in the gaps with it. And then you can go down below, past creative thaumaturgy, into the actual sections labeled by their actual, like, arcanum. So if you read death, it tells you what exactly it's ruling over, and you can kind of fill in what each dot with that arcanum is going to do.
Okay. Alright, cool.
And,
That's what I needed to know to just look at this on my own time.
I got you. Yeah. And I kind of figured we wouldn't be doing much actual gameplay today just because you both awakened.
I'm totally down. You can't play that game. I'm just
yeah,
like,
I'm ready whenever you guys are.
Alright, but I'll throw a fireball. I'll fucking know what's going on.
Yeah, you like your phone. It's a fucking
Yeah, right. Like I put my battery back in my phone. I just shoot a lightning bolt from it. I'm like, hey.
That'd be a really great way to introduce Paradox, not gonna lie.
You're right.
All right. So if you're all ready, we can start to do some roleplay. There won't be any particularly dangerous bits in this section.
Well, say I'm ready, but I'm willing.
All right, you are willing to get well. You know what I meant. So Thomas, as you're going to this warehouse that strange child led you to, how do you enter the front doors?
I dramatically kick open the door.
All right, I
Guns
want
blazing.
you to roll a strength. I'm gonna say athletics to kick the
Okay.
door open.
Okay, so that's 3.
Yep.
Cool. Just making sure. Alrighty, let's do this. 4, 9, and a 3.
4, 9. Wow. That's entirely different from what showed up. You critically fail and you kick the door and stub your toe, gain a bashing damage.
Alright.
You just think what's gonna happen?
Bashing is just
That's how it
1, right?
Bashing is just the one, yes.
Okay.
So as you step back, holding your toe, presumably whining in pain, you get an epiphany. That's right, you have magic.
Right.
So, did you read the how to cast section, or do you need a reminder?
I'll need a reminder.
All right. So first, you're going to need to declare your intent of what the spell is. And like what magic,
Okay.
what your character's thinking of when doing it, essentially.
Okay.
Oh, forces makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, forces is what I'm good at too, so I'm gonna probably do forces. I'm looking at the spells right now.
I'm glad I did not put any in forces.
Well, like I'm just reading it in like the role playing stuff of my character, and plus how it describes forces and some of the. It makes a lot of sense for to have forces.
It's like the flashy cool one.
Alrighty, I'm gonna cast Kinetic Efficiency. It's a simple spell. The mage can nudge kinetic forces, enhancing the subject's
Are you
motion.
reading a rote?
Yes, I am. You're right. You're right. I'm wrong.
I was about to say,
That is a rote.
you don't know that rote.
I don't. You're right. Magic.
Yeah. So, declare your intent. Are you blowing the door off its hinges, for example, or are you just unlocking the mechanism with a subtle use of force?
Subtle use of force. I'm gonna unlock the door.
All right. You can't see it, so it's going to be a little bit harder
I
compared
have.
to just blowing off its hinges. So, this is going to be forces gnosis, and you're going to need to succeed twice.
Okay. So forces gnosis is 6. And I need to succeed twice.
Yes. You have a dedicated magical tool, so you don't get paradox. You do not make it into paradox. Congratulations. So roll your 6 dice. Do it.
Alright. There's 5 of them.
All right. So you succeeded twice already.
Should I just not roll the last one?
You should roll the last one just so we can see if you succeed extra good. All right. You succeed by 3, and you put your hand onto the door. Envision its inner makings, and you hear a click, and you pull the door open. You feel a little embarrassed trying to push a pull door, but the door is unlocked now. How do you enter the doorway?
He opens it, looks around, sees no, and looks around
You
for anyone
open the
to
door.
to
So
enter.
you open the door, you turn to your right, and you see a dead body with an exploded head. You pause, and you look to your left, and you see an open door. And all you can smell from that direction is just a lot of blood and rot. And also, you hear someone screaming incoherently, and another what sounds like someone else trying to restrain someone, saying he's having a seizure. What do you do?
Well, I'm gonna go towards the person having a seizure.
So you go into the door, and immediately you can feel an excessive amount of mana in the area. A shame you didn't have any of your prime-based contemporaries in the area. They would have loved to clean it up. And you look around, and you see that there is absolutely a ritual circle with what seems to be some sort of destroyed object. It looks like it might have been paper at some point. A man on the ground having a seizure, and a smaller man with glasses on running around screaming into a corner and trying to push his way through, saying something about "this is the true path, this is the true path." You're pretty sure you know what's going on. However, I want to know how on you are with that. Roll me a wit occult.
All right, occult is 2, wits is 3, so 5. Alrighty.
I'll bring up the old map.
Ooh.
Ooh. Oh, you know what exactly what's going on. These men are being possessed. Would you like to use a willpower there, Thomas?
Yeah, I'll go ahead and use a willpower.
I cast counter spell.
I'll go ahead and cast a willpower. Willpower adds an additional 3, correct?
That is correct.
Just 3 more ones.
I sure
All
hope
right.
not.
So, you can succeed at a cost, or you can just have a regular failure.
What happens if I succeed at a cost?
I'm not telling you.
Great.
That's the point.
Okay. I'll accept the failure.
Except a regular failure.
Yes.
All right. You think you know what's going on. Clearly something supernatural happened to them. They're clearly a part of a supernatural assault. There are a few more men that are kind of stumbling around, and there's the woman that's trying to hold the man from, like, biting his tongue. They're inside the circle of bodies. She is the only living female in this room. So between the guy screaming in the corner, the guy having a seizure, her, and then... Did I accidentally move? I moved you guys over a little bit early. Whoopsie daisy. Yeah, so Thomas is going to be in here. This is Gonzo. You're over here in the corner. And and there's a man over here. He appears to... And there's a bunch of bloody weapons everywhere. You're not really sure what to make of it. However, you know that all these people are probably supernaturally attacked some way, considering there's a ritual circle, and seeming that they're not trying to kill each other. You can only hope they're all on your side. What do you do now?
I rush to the aid of the guy having a seizure. I don't know if I can move that.
You rush to him, and you find yourself, as you're stepping closer and closer. Are you not? Okay, I'll just move you for you, I suppose.
I'm working on
You
it.
get closer, and you start understanding him. He's speaking in high speech, the language of truth and understanding. He's saying something along the lines of, "I follow the path of the alchemists, and I follow the paths of returning them to the wheel. Time spins unerringly." And he's like shaking and shivering, and it does look like he's having a seizure because he's like speaking in tongues to mortals. You are almost entirely certain this man is having an awakening.
Alrighty.
So there's nothing really you can do for him, because if you use your magic on him at all, you have a chance of ruining his awakening, which can harm you both. The woman says, Who are you? When did you get here?"
Why, my fair lady, I am Thomas J. Arnold, the fabulous magician. And I
Didn't
take
you
a
get
bow.
Did you go crazy for 2 weeks?
That's beside the point.
That's entirely why is there a madman here?
Mad?
Hey,
I am not mad.
Oliver, at this point, you kind of fall on your ass and just you blink your eyes and something's different and you have awakened. You feel something deep within your core. You don't quite know what it is, but you have some thoughts. Oh, I think they're in my corner. So, Oliver, you're awakened and coherent.
Oh, good. Who the fuck is this guy in front of me?
So his name right? One sec.
That's cultist number
Where did I put it?
8.
No, so they have names.
Oh, this guy's one of those cultists, huh?
Uh, so the man is like, hey, you're finally not screaming anymore. It took me a while to, well, get back to myself after Hook, he grimaces. The man you were with earlier, he's seizing.
The first thing I do being addressed by a cultist. How aware am I of like the whole scenario? Right? Do I
So
like?
you
I vaguely understand what's going on.
you have these dual memories of you going down the path and being like following your heart, and you going absolutely nuts in the real world. Yes, but it's kind of blurs together, and they're both kind of like have a dreamlike quality.
In that case, I grab my
You grab your.
it was really weird. My screwdriver.
No, you dropped it.
Oh, did I?
Well, I mean, you did when you were insane.
I don't.
So he.
So far,
So
on defensive manner.
hey, it's okay, kid. We were all under that being's influence. Some of us still are didn't heal up like you did. He kind of rubs his arm where he had a hook rip out, and he's got bandages and what looks like amateur stitching on his arms, and you presume his legs too, considering there's blood stains and holes there. And you look at your own body, you notice that it's completely fine. Like, you've never felt better, actually. You feel like you could run a slightly longer jog now.
Oh. I kind of get up and be like, a fascinating set of circumstances.
Around this time, Remus, you take a deep breath in, and you're back to the real world. No longer in the superneural. And you find yourself being held in a position that you might recognize. Roll an intelligence medicine. That's 2.
Dodge and
So,
success.
so you could either choose to fail or succeed with a cost.
He's dumb. He fails.
He fails. Okay. You vaguely remember it being some kind of medical thing, but that's bad. So as she lets you up, she said, the Melody says, you were seizing. Then this guy came over. Do you know him? She's looking at Thomas J. Arnold.
Do I know Thomas J. Arnold?
You have never met this man in your entire life.
What knowledge skill if he went crazy at some point?
And
And that was a popular thing.
it was a popular thing. Yeah, I guess you would do. It would be intelligence, occult.
Ooh, I got 4 on that one.
Yeah. And I'll even say it's a 5-up. It's that easy to remember.
2 successes.
2 successes. Okay. You do know this guy, but you've never met him in person. He was a really popular stage magician who went nuts for like 2 weeks, raving and ranting about paths and actual magic. And then he tried to show some people real magic, and it failed. Something was just wrong, but he was still in this like dissociative state that by the time that he came to, his reputation was kind of, well, infamous at this point.
Awaken, no awaken, right?
You do feel a strange resonance between you and him, and You sit up a little further, Oliver, in the corner now. But you don't know what it means, not really yet.
Is she still holding one of those magical sticky things?
Is she still what?
Holding one of those fisherman's clubs?
No. You see that there's a bunch of the statues seem to be slowly rotting away.
Okay,
The
I'm
only
just
thing
gonna
left is the letter itself, but it is covered in your blood and other people's blood.
I'm gonna immediately use death magic to completely decay that thing away.
The letter?
Yeah,
All right.
I get
All
4.
right. So it's going to be your. So it's 4 with exploding successes.
I have 3 to exploding. Okay, let's see here. And another exploding. So 4.
All right, you succeed by 4. However, you are you. I mean, you do it from your position, right? You don't walk up and do it.
I just look at it and just immediately lose my will on.
So you did 1 reach, and there are dreamers watching. There is no paradox yet.
It's fine.
You now will have. Actually, I'll probably.
I
So,
can move to sleepwalkers.
I mean, eventually, probably.
Well, they're already on the path there, being that they touch some sort of spiritual being.
Don't think
So I gave you a condition.
Mhm.
Paradox 1. It'll follow you.
Okay.
So, you reach out your hand, and the letter, like, putrefies. Melody stands up and shouts, What are you doing? And she seems to, like, her brain seems to, like, be stuck on something. It must be the spirit doing it. She walks over to the letter and kind of kneels down in front of it as it slowly but surely turns into like this weird, not quite soil as it's decayed. She pulls her fingers through it, closes her fist around it, and lets it go. She's like, Eric, do you know what we're going to be doing, Eric? The man with the bowler hat kind of looks exhausted, and he's sitting on a chair. He's like, I don't know what we're going to do, Melody. How do you tell anyone that you killed a bunch of people in the name of some spirit because it brainwashed you? Yeah, sure. That'll go over well. Thomas, however, you do know that the kid that showed you the area did tell you to remind you that the adamantine arrow has given you a number to call to clean up any supernatural crime scenes, so that no one like gets persecuted for being under supernatural thrall and such. They told you to use it at your discretion. However, if you use it too often, you are going to owe favors to the order.
I believe this would be one of those moments where the child would be right.
Which child? Melody asks sharply.
Ignores her, snaps my fingers, pulls out my phone, and begins to dial the number.
This is 2008. You have a cell phone? Sure, I guess. You pull out a brick
I pull out a Nokia.
and you dial.
It's close to the flip phones.
He's got that little flap on top. It's plastic. Flips up. Extends the antenna.
It's got a. It's probably like a BlackBerry actually.
No, I'm broke. My character's broke. He does not have the BlackBerry. He has like a
Fair
Nokia brick.
He,
Nokia game station.
somebody doesn't have money. It's that he doesn't have any available money, because he didn't take any merits.
I
So
don't have any available money either.
yeah. Neither does Oliver, but it all makes sense to all of you. Anyway, so as you call, someone picks up. And what in the goddamn reason are you calling me at fucking 2 a.m. in the morning?
Well, let's see. There's 1, 2, 3 ex-possessed people, 2 freshly awakened, and what I can assume to be several murdered corpses, all from a spirit. And as I've been reminded recently, this is for help cleaning up and making sure no one gets in trouble for something they had no control over.
I think he said.
And what would be your shadow name and order affiliation, sir? Your shadow name is the name that you're telling supernatural people because, well, don't give your name out to people who can magically screw you or mundanely screw you while you're fighting mystically.
Alright, so I need to do a magical name and then my order name?
You can just say you don't have one right now, but they will. But you can give them like a code that will let your mentor know, or could say you're under so and so's amount and jurisdiction, and the people above you organizationally will come and ask, and you tell them that it was you. Right? Or you can take no credit for it after the fact and get someone pissed at you. The normal stuff.
Alrighty. I am under the discretion of Gerald from accounting.
So there's a pause. He's like, "Are you talking about Lord Geralt, the high-class mage who could kill all of us? Did you just call him an accountant?"
I did indeed. After all, that is
You
how
have
I
some
met
balls,
him.
kid. He hangs up.
With Prime Sight or Forces Sight, can I see like the alert signs going back? Can I see the Matrix?
Can you see the what?
Like so with magical sight, right? Like with forces, I can see like electronic signals, right? Can I see that phone? Not understand it, but see it.
You can see it, but there's something, and you look at it with Force's sight, and you notice there's something interfering with your sight, and then you switch to Prime sight, and you see that this is an enchanted phone line. Neat.
Dispel it.
Do you want to try?
Actually, I don't know if my character would know how. Would I innately like understand some of my abilities?
You innately know what you know because it's soul linked, right? You just know it, but to learn more, you do have to like try it.
Okay, yeah. So as a character who's about knowledge and the truth, yeah, I would like to read the Matrix code, be Neo. So
All
I
right.
like to.
You want to look past. So you want to try to look past the enchantment. All right. That's going to be Prime Gnosis.
So I've only got one Gnosis right now. I have 4 dice.
That sounds right.
And I'll use a willpower. That's more dice.
Absolutely. Yep.
Because I have power now, and I would like to use it.
Go for it.
I must know.
That might not show up for 2 minutes.
Yeah, I saw you typing and then it went away, and I'm like, is it gonna show me?
Oh no, I think I put in the wrong fucking code. Alright.
7D10. Alright.
Yes.
So,
That's more destination
1,
than
2. You succeed by 2. You start to try to pull it apart, but this thing resists you actively. Also, you just did stuff in front of. You did it from a distance, and you did it in front of dreamers. There is no paradox yet. You now gain paradox 1 as a condition.
What I know of paradoxes?
You feel something strange settle over you. It feels unnatural and it feels false. But it pushes itself upon you and envelops your soul. There's not much you can do about it.
Actually, there might be.
I mean, there's something you can do about it. You just don't know what it is yet.
I might actually.
I mean, you can try. However, if you're trying to dispel it, I'm going to let you know right now that it doesn't work that way.
No. I have abilities that lessen my magic state.
Yeah.
As a prime.
Yeah. So rotes are like making a spell easier. Essentially by learning it in a specific way. And you can still cast it at the same dot. It's just you're not using an additional skill to add on to it.
No. Okay. I have a thing called Supernal Veil. It wards a subject with detection, so it doesn't. I couldn't use that to like other.
Oh, okay. That's a merit, right?
No, that's prime power.
Prime power. All right. So you're gonna cast for that veil to try to hide yourself from it.
No. I would just look at my options.
Okay.
I'm
You can do it, but I think you need to do it beforehand. Is also part of the thing.
Yeah.
So you feel it settle upon you, and it feels discomforting. So Thomas, have you been using your mage sight at all right now?
Did I pierce the veil?
Am not. No.
Okay. So you put your phone away and said, well, help is on the way, or something of that effect is just the general thought. You know it's on the way, and yeah. As you look around, though, you are kind of curious what exactly went on here. Anyone do anything specific after these events?
I want to check on Karen's body.
Oh, yeah. So you go over to Sharon, and
Can I use, I guess, my mage side? Is it like, I have to scrutinize him to make sure that he's passed on? I want to see if he's gone.
all right. So that would be.
I mean, if he's not in the Twilight yet, I can send him to the Twilight.
All right. So using your death sight, you're going to see that Sharon's soul was pretty strong willpower, but it looks like he kind of like made himself kind of tired by the fact that he was trying so hard to stay alive while he was still living. Perhaps if he was dead for a long period of time, he might become a strong, like, unearthly spirit. However, right now, he is but mere like bits and pieces of his past self.
The poor bloke didn't even know what hit him.
The axe I'm holding in my hand, or the one that's laying on the ground near where I passed out, the one that killed him.
Um, I had a note. Yes, actually.
I guess I'm gonna make sure and pick it up, wrap the end of it up, and take it with me.
All right. Sounds good. All right.
Oh,
All right. So
maybe
are
take
you-
his ID. Take his
you
ID.
You take his ID. You open up. Charon Alexander. It looks like he's got some sort of campus ID for one of the local colleges as an IT tech. He was actually rather young, but and while it's sad, you never really met him.
Yeah, not enough to really know him, but I feel like giving him a proper send off. Or maybe I'll bind him to the axe and go beat people with him. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yes, bind the head of your fallen comrade onto the axe
Bind your
of his
soul
death.
to the axe.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's his soul, not his spirit, because that is different. Anyway, so as you all stand there awkwardly, Melody turns to Oliver and kind of looks at him. Hello, Oliver. I'm sorry that I invited you to this. Kind of a cluster.
We could still have a party.
She looks around. Eventually, I suppose.
I'm gonna pour the punch and be like, was that poison?
What?
The fucking punch?
She's like, oh, no, actually. I made the punch before I was mind controlled. There might be bits of people in it, though. I wouldn't suggest drinking any of it now.
It's like heartbroken. Oh. Yeah.
She's like, yeah, I invited you before the spirit showed up, or if it was around, it wasn't involving us yet. So,
Well, I think as since we're all survivors of the phenomena, push my glasses, we should I guess kind of stick together because I think we'll at least.
she kind of is like, well, I mean, I'll try to keep in contact. But I'll probably be alone for a little bit. Not terribly long. She kind of smiles half-heartedly. Roll a what's it? Roll a manipulate a wit empathy.
Wits, empathy. What's it? 2 dice? 1 dice? Do I even have empathy? I do.
Yeah.
Wow. Good job, me. Alright, fucking, yeah, I was gonna work on this. Girls. She's actually talking to me. Oh shit.
Wow.
2 exploding dice, 3 successes, 1 critical fail. Explode dice. Okay. So 3 successes, 1 critical fail. You're good. You can tell that she's pretty depressed by this situation. It's something she's not specifically telling you, but from her face, her expression, and the fact that she's like kind of mournfully looking at where the letter was, that something clearly is off. Not like supernaturally off, but like she's just in a lot of pain right now.
Good.
And
I'll use this to my advantage.
I mean, how do you think you can use it to your advantage? Do you want me to see if Oliver could make a plan to the advantage?
Yes.
That would be a manipulation, I would say socialize roll. Well, I mean, generally speaking, if I don't know what specifically you're doing, to see how he could, which will make further things easier.
I think right now he's going to formulate a plan.
Okay.
Right, like he sees this information, give her some time, because right now he's gotten the furthest with the goal that he ever has, and so he's like, okay, he fits in the door. Now gotta make a plan.
All right.
I've worked them angles.
Yeah. So, would you say that would be? I'm trying to think. Would that be more like planning to persuade, or planning or socialize to plan for it?
I feel like that'd be
I would
wits.
say like,
I'd say wits and persuasion.
yeah.
Well, wits is on your feet thinking. Intelligence is long-term thinking. So it's probably intelligence. I want to say, if you're not immediately doing it, I'm going to say socialize, because you're planning on expanding the socialization of the two of you.
Well, or it's intelligence investigation just above your persuasion roll.
I think an intelligence investigation would be a better one, because it is like you're investigating a person to make your other role easier next, right?
You're sizing her up.
Yeah.
I think I put in the fucking wrong one again. Goddamn.
Yeah.
What?
Oh,
Oh wow!
No, I'll take it.
Take
This is 100% in character. I'll take it.
Okay, so you critically failed.
Oh yeah.
I want you to use that character, and you're taking it as a critical fail.
Uh-huh.
You get a beat for this, but also, you. Oh my gosh. I don't even. You don't even know, man. You don't even know.
I don't.
So you absolutely think you could press her to spend more time with you, but not now. Now's not the time to do it. You should wait later, when she's extra sad and extra depressed. Yes, that sounds perfect.
Right, yes, when she's at her weakest.
does
Yes.
anyone have a Coke bottle? In character.
Oh, in character? Melody.
Yeah.
So does Melody ask? Do you ask that like out loud?
Yeah, does anyone have a sealable container, a Coke bottle, something?
There should be some water bottles in the break room. It's behind the front desk.
It's probably
Going there.
a vending machine. It's probably the vending machine.
Yeah, there's a vending machine also in there, but I think it does cans.
I need a sealable bottle. I'm just gonna rummage around for a bottle, a sealable bottle.
All right. Well, I mean, you pass the tea, go into the cupboards, and you find yourself a metal water bottle. It has some name on it, however, it's been crossed out, and now it says public underneath it. Presumably, someone gave it to the company.
Is there like a marker somewhere in it? Oh, no, I've got hundreds of pins in my pocket. What am I thinking about? I'm gonna pull. Well, not yet. I'm gonna attempt to soul jar Charon while no one's in the room with me.
All right, roll for it.
So I can save it for later. That'd be one success, technically.
You succeed
If I
by
need more.
2, explode 1.
See if I can get another.
Okay, so you succeed by 2. As you start to pull his soul into this jar, the thing that like wrapped itself around you earlier propels against you and pulls, but and the jar, the like bottle explodes into shards, and it's loud, and there's a screech as Charon's soul is pushed further into oblivion. His soul now fading fast. Take 1 lethal, by the way.
Ooh, take a leap.
Yeah, you got a metal shard in your foot.
If I'm relatively close to that, would I get hit by that or not?
I'm in another room.
He's in another room. Gunzo.
Oh.
Yeah, I didn't want no sleepers watching me try to put my soul in a bottle.
Ah.
Yeah. So, you guys do hear something to that effect in the distance.
Son of a bitch.
Here, an explosion, son of a bitch, in the distance. You can tell it's Remus, so assumably something happened. There's also a loud bang preceding it, so Melody stands up and goes to see what just happened.
Yeah, I'll go to the same thing because I'm actually kind of.
I follow behind, not wanting to be left behind as I want to be the center of attention.
Alright, so as you commend your souls to Aetherius. So Melody's like, what on earth did you just do?
Your damn drink bottle just blew up in my hand.
I want you to roll a persuasion on that. Let's go. I'm going to say manipulation persuasion.
Yeah, I think that'd be
Well, let's see. I have no persuasion and only one manipulation. So it's a chance die. Let's see what happens. Oh,
You
I
do
failed.
manipulation, so you needed to make a 7 up. You did not. She just kind of looks at you grumpily. She's like,
I'm like,
you're just like my little brother when he does something stupid. That is not what happened. Tell me for real what happened. I want you to make a contested roll against her persuasion. So what you're going to do is you're going to do presence, or actually you're going to do composure, subterfuge.
Can I assist her?
No.
Would I be able to?
Yes.
no. Composure plus what?
So your composure and subterfuge.
Cool.
Okay.
Nice.
You
So
succeed by 1, she succeeds by 3.
I
actually do have composure and stuff. Good job, man.
terribly sorry about that. I believe that might be my fault.
She doesn't believe you. How did you even get here? I don't think anyone invited you here, even. How did you know to be here? She's like getting all up in Remus's grill.
Now, young lady, calm down.
He picks
He's
up
a
the
fan.
teapot and throws it at you.
Look at
It's
me.
full of burning tea
She throws burning tea at me.
at him.
Oh, okay.
Actually, she's friends with Draven. Who's Kenneth?
Um,
I'm gonna
Karen was the
do.
one that was friends with the driver. Not,
Oh, was it? Never mind.
I'm gonna
But
use
yeah,
my,
You're
My
right.
presence.
I'm on coaching.
I'm gonna use my presence plus intimidation to tell her there's some things that she does not want to know the answer to, and get real close to her personal space.
and she's like, "Oh, what are
Oh,
you
God.
now? My
Oh,
father or my younger brother?"
Oh God!
My younger brother said something like that almost verbatim before I whooped his ass.
I also botched.
You absolutely botched. So she gets up into your grill and like pushes you against the counter and is like, and you feel like intimidated.
That's hot.
And for botching, you get a beat. Yes. So she's like, "You tell me what's going on." At this point, one of the other dreamers just walked in the door.
Friend, would you by chance have been introduced by this very creepy little boy? Is that by chance the one who brought you here?